welcome to the second module of the Financial Kickstart program. The first module was the Looking Forward module, and that's where you completed the survey and answered a few questions so that you could get a really good understanding of where you're at right now and where you want to be by the end of this program. So now in the second module, we're going to go into the nuts and bolts of financial planning. And I think this first module is the most important. In this module, we're going to talk about finding the balance between spending your money today and enjoying it today, but also saving and preparing for the future. In this module, we're going to get into the nuts and bolts about budgets and also talk about how much you need to be saving to be prepared for the future. And I think that this is such an important part. It's the most important part of your financial plan. And that's because the budget sets a place for you to reach all your other goals. So I want to tell you a quick story about a client that I recently had. I had a client come in just yesterday. They've been my client for several months. And when they came in a few months ago, they talked about their main goals. Now, the two of them had both been married before. They both brought kids to their current marriage. And so they talked about how their goals were, number one, they wanted to be saving more for retirement. They hadn't been saving as much as they should have been. Number two is that they wanted to start saving for college. Their kids were between the ages of 7 and 12, and they hadn't saved anything for college. So they were feeling really overwhelmed about that. And number three is they wanted to improve their money conversations in their marriage. Because money was sort of an issue in both of their previous marriages, the two of them were starting to have arguments and some issues around money. So it's interesting because the same thing fixed all of those problems, and that was getting a budget in place. And for them, it was really key for them to start using Mint because that made that budget to be able to impact their everyday life and to stick with the budget. And the reason that the budget fixed this was because, number one, it freed up some money for them to increase their retirement savings. Two, it also helped them free up some money to be able to save for college. And they've been able to put quite a bit away. I've been really impressed by how much they've been doing. And number three is that it's improved the money dynamics in their relationship. Now they each have their own fund money that they have every month, and there's no questions asked about it. They can spend money on whatever they want. And then the rest of the money goes to pay for their expenses that they have towards the household and also towards savings. And not only has this impacted this client, but in the hundreds of clients that I've worked with, this is the number one and the most important step of a financial plan. It allows you to get things cleaned up and organized so then you can go out and reach all the other goals that you have. Okay, so in addition to this video, there's going to be 5 videos in this module. The first video is going to be all about setting a budget and what you need to do to make a budget. The second one is going to be a guide and a tutorial on how to use Mint so you can get the most out of Mint. The third module is going to be all about figuring out how much you need to be saving for retirement. The fourth module is about finding extra money or cash that is going, that you're not just taking advantage of right now, and that's going to be able to help you find money, more money for savings. The fifth video is all about that finding balance and how to get on the same page as your spouse. So I encourage you to watch all 5 of these videos before we talk again in about a week for the live Q&A session. Think about some questions that you would like to ask so that you can figure out how to implement these ideas that I'm talking about in these videos in your own life. And I'm really excited to talk to you next week and hear about your progress and hear about the questions that you have.